Hello students, welcome to Excellence. Welcome to the last session of India Yearbook 2017, where we'll be focusing on planning chapter. From here on, we'll be completing entire book. We'll be seeing what exactly is important in these chapters again. So the first important issue in this is about the Niti Aayog, where you have to actually read about Niti Aayog after the Planning Commission replacement. Lakshmikant and other books, only in the new version you will be seeing. The older version was not having this. Please try to look at the objectives of Niti Aayog as well. High possibility in mains they may ask you about the objectives, and for prelims composition of Niti Aayog is important. And then you also have to look at who are all the people who are actually part of this. That is full-time members, you have chairperson, vice chairperson, all this information. High possibility they may ask you question in prelims about this. Apart from this Niti Aayog, nothing much needs to be seen in Planning Commission. There are certain programs list which are actually given in this, but those programs are also part of different departments where proper information about that particular department is also being given. So let us focus on that rather than reading in the Planning Commission itself. So let's move quickly to the next chapter. Then in page 659, you can actually observe Pradhan Mantri Gram Sadak Yojana. Here you have to go in detail about this program, where especially you have to look in those districts which is above 500 persons. There they will be actually connecting it with all weather roads, whereas in other areas like places which comes under special category status and also those hilly areas, even with 250 people it is allowed. So this particular paragraph can become a question about this. Prime Minister Gram Sadak Yojana, they may ask you which are the areas which can be connected for 500 persons and which are those areas which can be connected for 250 persons. So this needs to be prepared cautiously. Then in page 660 you have Indira Awas Yojana or rural housing. It's very important. As you are aware, already I have shown you that housing chapter is important. Housing for all is being focused by the government when they are talking about Indira Awas Yojana implemented by Ministry of Rural Development. It aimed at providing houses to families below the poverty line, and there you also have to look at these factors. That is, the main features of these are very important. They may ask you with respect to who is actually getting, like providing assistance for the construction of 1 crore houses in rural areas over a period of 3 years from 2016 to 17 to 2018-19. So this type of information can also be asked in the exam. So please be prepared. Every feature of this can become every point 1, 2, 3, 4. In that they may ask this. I have told you again and again, don't miss out this information. Mains is different. Even if you remember only one point, you can write that. But in prelims, if you know all the 4 objectives or features of the program, then only you can write about that carefully. So this is important. After this, you have National Social Assistance Program. Within this, we have to look at different yojanas of the government. That is Indira Gandhi National Old Age Pension Scheme, Indira Gandhi National Widow Pension Scheme, Indira Gandhi National Disability Pension Scheme, National Family Benefit Scheme, and Annapurna Yojana. Right? All this are important for our preparation. When we are looking at it, 10 kgs of food grains per month. I have already showed you this for those people who are not getting money under National Old Age Pension Scheme. So this type of information is very important for us. Apart from this, the other schemes with these names will not be asked now, but even if they ask you, you should be aware of this. Then in the next page, you actually have Deen Dayal Upadhyay Gramin Kaushalya Yojana. Here it is talking about skill development in the rural areas. Very important. Earlier it was under the name of National Rural Livelihoods Mission or Ajivika. Now it has been changed into this Gramin Kaushalya Yojana. Please go through this once from mains point of view, but from prelims point of view also. If you just go through this, it is enough. But the program was announced in 2014, that's why it's not important. But as Deen Dayal Upadhyay was in news, they may ask you about this particular program. That is why I'm asking you to go through it once, right? They may ask you it has replaced Ajivika, something like this. You should be ready for those questions. And within that, you also have to look at the key features. It's very important for us to focus on all these key features, right? The key features, please go through it once. Nothing much. It's all related to youth empowerment. So it's easy for you to see, right? Nothing much. It's more factual information. Next important scheme is about Sansad Adarsh Gram Yojana, where you might have heard that one village needs to be adopted. There you have to look at the salient features, where they say that aims to develop 3 Adarsh Grams chosen by MPs by March 2019, of which one should be achieved by 2016. Not many would have done that. Focus on Jan Bhagidar or community partnership. Member of Parliament will lead and guide the lead initiative. And then you have holistic development of the village, right? This can be asked. So they may ask you, the district collector will guide and lead the initiative. So it is focusing on individual Bhagidar, something like that, not community participation. So these terms are very important. They may actually play with these to make questions to ensure that whether you have read it carefully or not. Then please see page 670, where you have Swachh Bharat Abhiyan. We know that there is a question, but still try to read it once, whether it is Swachh Bharat Abhiyan or Swachh Bharat Abhiyan Gramin. Just see once. From both prelims and mains point of view, these points may be helpful. Next, in page 672, you can see Hriday scheme, where the focus is actually on development of heritage cities. The cities are important for us. 12 identified cities: Ajmer, Amravati, Amritsar, Badami, Dwarka, Gaya, Kanchipuram, Mathura, Puri, Varanasi, Velankanai and Warangal. Please go through this carefully once. High possibility they may ask you about Hriday is considering for redevelopment of which of the following cities. So this is important. Then in page 674, read about Amrut once. Not much, they won't ask you, but try to read it once. But smart cities mission is actually important from both prelims and mains point of view. Here you have to look at the core infrastructure elements that are actually available here, and then you also have to see the table which actually focuses on different places which are actually part of this and which has been focused for smart cities. So they may actually give you which of the following cities are actually part of the smart cities mission. So please be careful. Easy to remember, just go through it once carefully. Before exam, if you can revise this table, it will be helpful. And in the last page, you actually have about urban transport, where they focus on move people, not vehicles. This urban policy was actually asked in 2014 mains paper. As I told you, the last pages always become important. They are talking about you should make people to move in large numbers, not increasing the number of vehicles. That is, don't extend the roads and all to ensure that more vehicles can move, but within the spaces that are available, try to ensure more people can move through public transport and other benefits. So for that, they actually talk about metros. Then in page 682, you can actually see science and technology, where they are focusing on Satyam program. In 2015-16, to rejuvenate research in yoga and meditation, 15 R&D projects worth 6 crores have already been supported. Then in the current affairs, this time I have actually shown in September about NIDI, National Initiative for Development and Harnessing Innovations. Here they actually talk about innovation to market value chain would be supported and strengthened at various nodes. The main ambition of the program is to ensure that more money flows into these. And the other important thing is Million Minds augmenting national aspirations and knowledge. To widen the base of the innovation pyramid by cultural intervention, ideas relevant to the national needs are to be invited from 10 lakh school students in any language. Again, this is very, very important for you, right? Manak and Nidhi. They may ask you, consider the following with respect to the following programs. One they may give you with respect to Nidhi, second one they may give you with respect to Manak. This is for 10 lakh school students, their aspiring individuals for new entrepreneurship. Innovations there will be getting money. 685, please try to read atomic energy once. In this atomic energy, you actually want to see the nuclear power program state 1. and you also have to see Kudankulam Nuclear Power Project Unit 2, right? So these two are very, very important. They talk about the front end fuel cycle, where they are talking about what are all required initially. Front end, that is resources, uranium 238, 235, all this which acts as a fuel. And then they talk about back end fuel cycle, where they talk about fuel reprocessing and waste management. So guys, as I have clearly told you, these two are very important for you. Atomic energy, nuclear energy, India is going to different countries to ensure that they get required nuclear energy. At that time, high possibility they may actually ask you question on this. Science and technology, most of the information which is given here is usually from 2015 point of view. From current affairs basis, you won't get any question, but if you can read from the current affairs itself, it will be helpful. So the things which are given here are really not helpful from prelims point of view at least. But the atomic energy one which is given here is important. So please read till page number 694 with respect to atomic energy. Apart from that space, if you can see once this chapter is done, nothing much to see here. Next, please open page 727 where we have to look at Bharatmala project, which actually talks about the ministry has taken up detailed review of national highways network with a view to improving road connectivity to coastal or border areas, backward areas, religious places, tourist places, construction, rehabilitation or widening of about 1500 major bridges and 200 railways over bridges and railway under bridges on national highways, improvement of newly declared national highways providing connectivity in district headquarters, connectivity improvement for Char Dham. All these are important. They may directly ask you with respect to Bharatmala project, and there is also about Setu Bharatam project, where they actually talk about bridges for safe and seamless travel on national highways, was launched in 2016. Wherever you have this railway passage and all, there they actually try to construct the bridges just to ensure that manual crossings are avoided as much as possible. So Setu Bharatam project and Bharatmala project are important from transport point of view. Then you have to look at the major ports once. If you have not read NCERT books, please go through this. Some major informations are available here. Right, Kolkata port is the only riverine major port in the country. Sometimes we have seen that lot of questions are being framed only from the language which is there in India yearbook. That is, Kolkata port is the only riverine major port, not riverine port, only major port. Okay. Then you have Paradip port as one of the major ports in the country, and then laid foundation stone of the port near the confluence of river Mahanadi on the east coast in Bay of Bengal in Odisha. That is, on Mahanadi which is there, Paradip is there. Then you have new Mangalore port. Cochin port is important, which is actually present on the Wellington Island. So this type of informations are important for you. And then you have Jawaharlal Nehru port, which is actually present off the Elephanta Islands, right? So please go through this once. In page 734, we actually have Sagarmala project, right? They actually talk about Sagarmala project in that they will ask you which of the following are considered. 1. Port modernization. 2. Port connectivity, port-led industrialization, coastal community development. Which of the following are actually part of it can be a question. So please be careful and read about it carefully. Sagarmala project, and these 4 points are important. Then in page 742, please see national water policy once. Right? So it's not required, but as last year was a drought year, this can be seen once. Nothing much, just go through it from mains point of view. Then you have National Mission for Clean Ganga in the next page. Again, go through this from mains point of view. Nothing much to remember, that's the reason I am not stressing on these points. Then you have Jal Kranti Abhiyan, very, very important. So during the year, to consolidate water conservation and management in the country through a holistic approach involving all stakeholders, making it a mass movement. The objectives of Jal Kranti Abhiyan are as follows: strengthening grassroots involvement of all stakeholders including Panchayat Raj institutions and local bodies in water security and development schemes. So NGOs, citizens, and enhancing livelihood security through water security in rural areas. See, they actually ask, it is only a government project or NGOs and other people are also involved. It is public-private partnership. So these type of informations will be usually asked about the scheme. Jalakranti Abhiyan is important as this was last year's program. In page 745, Pradhan Mantri Krishi Sinchai Yojana, high possibility there can be a question on this. And what will be the question? The question will be on the objectives. The question will be actually on the objectives. If you read this, it's more than enough. Then in page 746, you have about command area development and water management. Here you have to read about the program components. That is, survey, planning and designing of on-farm developments, on-farm development works comprising construction of field channels, land leveling and micro irrigation. Direct questions about command area development can be asked in mains. So for that, in geography you have to write this answer. Please ensure that you read it. What they actually focus is, they actually see wherever the river is flowing and what needs to be done in that area successfully. So this you would have already read, but still I am telling you this because these are also important from mains point of view. After that, there is nothing much important. Let's go to page 791, where the focus is all about the schemes for women. So when we look at the schemes, first scheme is about Sabala, which is actually for adolescent women from age 11 years to 18 years with a focus on all out of school adolescent girls. The reason for this is 11 to 14, all the children who come under 6 to 14 will be given midday meal scheme. Those who are left out in between 11 to 14 will be given here. 15 to 18 who are not getting the midday meal scheme, everyone will be included. So a focus on all out of school adolescent girls. This term is very, very important for you. Then Sabla is being implemented through the state governments with 100% financial assistance from the central government for all inputs other than nutrition provision, for which 50% central assistance to states is provided. Again, this can be an information that can be asked as question, right? Apart from these two, others are easy, straightforward, and you just need to remember the calories, 600 calories and 18 to 20 grams of protein. This type of information, try to read as much as possible once. And then you have Indira Gandhi Matritva Sahyog Yojana, where they are talking about conditional cash transfer scheme for pregnant and lactating women, where the focus is on wage loss which the working woman or lactating woman would lose during the delivery period, and they are paid 4,000 rupees, right? So this information is important. Indira Gandhi Matritva Sahyog Yojana is for those women who are working and who will be losing the money. And on the other hand, when you talk about women empowerment and livelihood mission program in mid-Gangetic plains, Priyadarshini, that is for those women who are actually present in the mid-Gangetic plain, Uttar Pradesh and Bihar. This program was launched. Usually you won't get a question on this, but Swadhar is also important, where the women who are in difficult circumstances, for them homeless, what should be done, and for them the program is called as Swadhar, that is widows by their families in religious places like Vrindavan and Kashi, women prisoners released from jails. So for all these people, they actually go for this. Who are these people can be the question, or like they may ask you, who are all come under Swadhar program. Then in page 793, we have to look at Ujjwala, launched in 2009. They actually talk about prevention of trafficking with 5 specific components. One, they focus on prevention, rescue, rehabilitation, reintegration and repatriation. So all these 5 components are very, very important. Ujjwala scheme is also important, right? So please go through this once carefully. Then in 794, please see Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao. In this, you have to go through the things carefully, where with an initial corpus of 100 crore, it will be generating awareness and improve the efficiency of delivery of welfare services meant for women. The important activities that would be undertaken under the Beti Padhao Abhiyan are as under: activate SMCs to ensure universal enrollment of girls, Balika Manch in schools, construction of girl toilets, make dysfunctional toilets functional, completion of Kasturba Gandhi Bal Vidyalayas, construction of girl hostels for secondary and senior secondary. So this is important. Then in the last page of this, that is 804, you have Sukanya Samriddhi account. High possibility, like Atal Pension Yojana, they may ask you about this. The scheme aims to ensure a bright future for girl children by facilitating their education and marriage. Please read this entirely. I'll be showing you some points which may come. Under the scheme, a parent or legal guardian can open an account in the name of the girl child until she attains the age of 10 years. So this is one factual information that can be asked, that is till what age they can actually enroll. They will change it to 18 years. So please be careful, it's only till 10 years they can open. As per the government notification on the scheme, the account can be opened in any post office branch on designated public sector banks. Again, this information is important. The interest rate, usually they won't ask you, but just try to see once, 9.2%, which will be compounded annually. It's not simple interest, but it is compound interest. Then the minimum deposit that needs to be made every year is 1000, and a maximum amount that can be deposited is 1.5 lakhs. The account will be valid for 21 years from the date of opening, after which it will mature and the money will be paid to the girl child in whose name the account is being opened. So again, this is important. If the account is not closed after maturity, the balance amount will continue to earn interest as specified from time to time. The account will also automatically close if the girl child gets married before the completion of the tenure of 21 years. Again, this statement is important, that is the account will also automatically close. This type of terms will be given. We get confused in the examination hall. Automatically will it close or will they have to give? Deposits can be made up to 14 years from the date of opening of the account, right guys? So please just try to ensure that you are going through these. These are some of the information from Sukanya Samriddhi account which is important, but I would say please read it carefully. Then whenever you are talking about premature withdrawal or withdrawing money before the completion of the maturity period of 21 years can only be made by the girl child in whose name the account has been opened after she attains the age of 18 years. This withdrawal shall also be limited to 50% of the balance standing at the end of preceding financial year and will also be allowed for the purpose of higher education or if the girl intends to get married. So that is, it should be on the basis of the girl child's interest and they want it to focus mostly on the education. If not, it should be for the marriage. Then in 805 you have about youth affairs. First you should know who exactly youth is. The age group between 15 to 29 years. Earlier it was different. Now according to the international standard they have brought this. So guys, there is nothing much to see in youth affairs chapter as well. At max they may ask you about the youth policy and the age. Nothing much. So you can use the age in mains. Even they won't ask you a question about it. So you can be confident with this. There is nothing much in the sports and other things that has been discussed here. But we need to look in current affairs where certain committees are being framed just to ensure that in Olympics we get more medals. A question can be asked about that. But in the yearbook there is nothing much that we need to see. Then the most important chapter where you have to read this at any cost is states and union territories. I'm not going to mark any line. The reason for this is entire thing is important for you. Please ensure you are going to read every line of this. This year they have changed. Don't take previous year books and read the summaries of it. This year they have added lot of new information about every state. My request to you is every day one state if you can actually open with the help of Atlas, if you can read, it will be beneficial. Else I would actually try to take every state and explain them during the geography through map session. There you can actually get the additional information. But guys, in this chapter you cannot leave anything. Each and every line in this chapter is important. And in the next chapter where diary of events is given, most of it is already covered in our current affairs sessions. You need not worry about it. I have already checked these current affairs sessions which may be important for us. So that is fine. But this chapter is my sincere request. You have to go through the original book itself and you have to read. This year I am expecting at least 2 questions from this chapter alone. So please be prepared with this particular topic, right? So guys, with this we will be actually covering India Yearbook 2017. There is nothing much to see apart from this. You can just read these lines. Don't ask again which chapters are important. I have already told you lines within every chapter. Few chapters are important. I have told you then and there itself. Few chapters are not important. I have again told this. Whenever I have told you mains only, you can read it after prelims. But if you can read it once now, it will be beneficial. So guys, if there is any query, if you don't understand any topic, please feel free to contact us. And the second important thing is, please don't ask for summary. I have given you summary. If I have to give summary, then I have to change the content and give it to you, because I cannot upload anywhere on my website. The content will be considered to be copied. If I change the language, questions will not come. What is the use? And many people ask me, sir, can you make questions? What have we discussed? We have discussed the questions itself, right? And at the end, I just want to tell you guys, if I am telling you a question can come on this, and if I frame a question, your focus will be only on that particular question, but anything can come related to that issue as well. At that time, you may feel that I read India Yearbook, but I could not do it. And in the end, high possibility you will look only at the questions and not at this. So because of these reasons, my request to you is, don't go behind the notes again and again. Please keep the book. It may take maximum 5 to 6 hours to read for the first time. Second time when you are reading, it will take only 3 hours. And then one day before exam, it will take only 1 hour for you to revise. So because of this, it's very, very important for you to do this. Again, at last, I'll repeat, we have to look current affairs, magazine, monthly, weekly, and at the same time, you have to see economic survey, India Yearbook, geography through maps. In all this, in one form or the other form, all current affairs will be covered, right? So if you can see this, it is more than enough. Thank you guys. Thanks for watching. The contact number is 9972 000 318. sandeep.bhupalam, sandeep.bhupalam@gmail.com. Please feel free to contact anything with respect to India Yearbook. Thank you guys. Thanks for watching and all the best for your exams.